Our final expense plan, this is probably the main product that Case would have highlighted for you. It's a graded benefit guaranteed issue plan. It's available for ages 50 to 80 and fixed amounts of either 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, or 25,000. It's truly guaranteed issue. There are no medical questions, no underwriting questions. The only things the clients fill out is their information, who they want to pay, who they want Catholic Financial Life to pay when they die, and how they want to pay us the premium. And that is the application. Super simple, straightforward. Pricing on it is excellent, really competitive. If you're also in the final expense market, but you have a client that could go through underwriting, our low cost value life is a phenomenal option. Starts at 15,000 and goes up from there. Really minimal underwriting at those lower ages. You're going to complete the app. We'll do a phone interview, and that phone interview is completed by the Catholic Financial Life home office. So you don't have to worry about doing that. And then maybe if something weird comes up on the phone interview, we might order records. And then on our single premium whole life, if someone is under 100,000 of death benefit, we have a special table shaving program. So we'll up to a table 4, we would issue as standard. So if you have someone who's higher risk but can afford a single premium, it's an opportunity to save them some money as well. So while we're on the topic of this product, I'll show you our product flyer that goes with this. It's got the rates built right into it too. So this plan, this is the graded benefit plan. If you pass away in the first 2 years from illness or natural causes, we will refund your money plus 10%. If you die in the first 2 years from an accident, you get full benefit. And then after the second year, it's full benefit. Premiums are level. And so if I'm looking down here at this monthly table rate, if I'm a 50, 51, 52, 53, or 54-year-old, I'm going to pay the same $46.32. And that $46.32 is never going to go up. If I'm 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, I'm going to pay $55.31 a month for 10,000, and $55.31 will never increase. So it's banded by age, and so yeah, male, female. It's UNA tobacco user, so it doesn't matter if they're tobacco user at all. Just a fixed rate. Very similar to Gerber's plan. Pricing is similar or better in majority of the situations as well. So very competitive premiums. All right, I'll hop back to this. So before I get into the Q&A, I'm going to show you our illustration program. So then I can run a couple of sample quotes on another product that I wanted to show you all. So this is that low cost value life plan that I mentioned. And one unique thing about Catholic Financial Life, monthly is actually our cheapest form of premium. So, you know, most carriers, if it's $1,200 annually instead of $100 monthly, they're going to charge you $105 or $110 or $115. With Catholic Financial Life, if it's $1,200 annually, it's probably like $99 or $98 on a monthly basis. So there's a slight discount. The reason for that being we have that very high persistency rate, which is tied to, often tied to the automatic monthly EFTs. All right, so I'm going to illustrate this so you can see the premiums. So this is what I have here: 65-year-old male, non-tobacco, $15,060.24 monthly. So very low cost. And you can see in the illustration, so these two columns are the exact same thing. Since there's no dividends on this plan, the guaranteed side and current side are the exact same. So you can see death benefit is level, premiums is level, and then they still actually have a pretty good cash value growth rate in here too. In our software, you can do some like quick calcs too. So you do have a pretty agent-friendly software where you can just punch in and compare like all of our products together. So if I quote this out at 100,000, you'll see all of our products listed in here, 10, 20, 30-year term, all of that stuff, all the way up to, well, all the way up to our single premium whole life being the most expensive. So 10, 20, 30-year term, we have a UL plan. It's a current assumption UL, great flexibility, designed more for overfunding, really leverages growth in the long run. Here's that non-par whole life. Here's our participating whole life, our 20 pay, and then the single premium. So I wanted to make sure to leave some time for questions, and then, you know, even give people back part of their day. So any questions? I know I kind of went through some information quickly, but I'm happy to highlight anything specifically if you want to send something through chat, or unmute yourself and ask some questions there.
Hi, I just want to know if the final expense approved in California.
No, I can actually, that's a good question. I can show you the states we are licensed in.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to show you the states we're licensed in. Just 1 second.
They're not approved in California.
Correct. We are not in California.
Oh, that's just wonderful. And what's okay? So you're gonna show the chart of approval?
Yeah. So you should be able to see my screen right here, and these are the states we're licensed in.
Okay, so Oklahoma is Wisconsin and Arkansas. Let's see, what is it? Minnesota, Michigan.
Yep. So we're, yeah, I mean, we're all the Midwest, you know, southwestern states. We just added Florida last year. We're in New England and then the Pacific Northwest. What we're missing is, you know, California, Nevada, Utah, like those states over there, and then like Georgia, Alabama, so the Carolinas. So we're in 32 states total. I can see in the future us adding some, but right now we're pretty happy with the ones we're in.
So you're not planning on putting California on the list?
Not at this time. Their office, their OCI, to get filed there is an absolute nightmare. And so it's just one of those things of getting filed in the state of California has not been on anybody's list of challenges to tackle in the near future. But really? I wouldn't say it's off the table. It's just, it wouldn't be a #1 priority.
Wow. Maybe I need to move. We must be very bad in California. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Any other questions or things that people would like to see? I know that was a pretty high overview. Here comes the question. Is there e-app available? Yes. The e-app is available for these products listed here. It's not currently available for the final expense plan, but let me just show you what that app is. So I'll show you the final expense one first, and then I'll show you what our e-app looks like for the other products. So I'm pulling up the Minnesota final expense guaranteed issue app. So if you have your own signature program like Sign Now, DocuSign, DocFast, I mean, you name it, whatever, you can come in here and put in, you know, fill in their information, fillable PDF, and then DocuSign it to them or whatever it might be afterwards. And so you could at least collect an electronic signature, but it's the client's information, if they have existing coverage, who the beneficiaries are, how they want to pay for it, and then the payer, and then it's signatures. We've got replacement forms built in here. Pretty simple, straightforward. And on the paper app too, you can actually do like a husband-wife side by side on one application, and there's a separate signature section for them in here too. So this is the only app that's currently not available through electronic, but we will accept electronic signature if you have a signature program. But I'm gonna hop back in here to this next vision thing I was running here. So if I come in here and I put in this client's info, and then I come action. Well, I already have this illustration running, so I'll just keep that. So I set my illustration, then I can go action, application. I'm going to create a new business app. And then now, since I already entered the client and I did the illustration, the app is already 50% completed. There's some other shortcuts within our e-app that make it nice to use. Like if you can select to have the insured as the owner and the insured as the payer. As I mentioned before, we will accept ITINs, and so you can list that in here as well. The membership question is either are you Catholic or do you affirm the organization's mission? So you just have to make sure, even if this is answered no, this needs to be yes, or if this is yes, then the other question doesn't matter. So
sorry, yeah, I have a question in regards. I saw the ITIN here. So you meaning that you can insure somebody that is not a resident, that is, I mean, not doesn't have a social, but it has an ITIN?
yes, correct.
Okay, okay. Perfect.
There are limits to the amount of insurance we will write on people with ITINs, and it's based on if they own a home, how long they've been in the States. So I don't have the limits in front of me right now, but just to give you an example. So if it's, I've been in the States 1 to 3 years, you might be limited to 100,000 and only standard rates. And then if it's, you've been in the States 4 to 10 years, then that opens up to like $500,000 or a multiple of income. So there's just some guidelines that go with it there.
Okay, but in regards to the final expense, obviously to the limitations, it looks like they can get pretty much 10,000 or 15,000 with no issues.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, great, thank you.
So this is our e-app here. It's got DocuSign built into it, or you can, if you have like a touch screen device, you can actually like sign with your finger or use a mouse to sign. So that's the e-app. When it comes to your turnaround time frame for new business, so there's a couple of different questions. I'll answer them in ease of. So do we submit business prior to appointment? A company of our size, it's easier for us to process your appointment before processing your business. So we prefer to appoint you first. But if you want to wait until you have a piece of business to write, the downside is to access our quotations, to do like the interactive quotes in the e-app, you'd have to be appointed. That's just the way we choose to do business. But like we can always run quotes and stuff for you until you're ready to write an app and get appointed. So that was one question. What's your appointment process? We use a No More Forms. It's part of the applicant insight. I push you a link, you do it all online. We get it submitted and process it from there. And then turnaround time frame on new business. It really just depends on the application. So the final expense takes about a full business week just because it's coming in on paper processing. Like it's approved right away, but by the time we enter it into our system and process, it takes a few days. On term, it depends on how long it takes your clients to get their phone interview done and potentially parameds. But I'd say on average for like a term case that we're not ordering records on, we're about 2 weeks, 2 business weeks. On those smaller whole lives, if their part 2 comes back okay, we can issue those within about 2 weeks, 2 or sooner. One note on that. So let's say you have someone who's between 50 and 80 and they apply for our underwritten plans. Like, let's say they want to apply for this 15,000 value life that I'm showing you here, and they get declined. If they get declined and they're within that 50 to age 80 range, our underwriter will send you a follow-up note saying, unfortunately, we can't offer coverage as applied for, but what we can offer them is the graded benefit plan. If your client's fine with that graded benefit plan, you tell us the face amount, and then we will send you out the policy with an amendment. You do not have to resubmit applications. We will just use your original app, amend it, and then process it for the final expense plan. So a lot of good questions. Thank you for the submissions.
I have a question if nobody
yeah,
else is asking. Yeah, also interest in the TIN factor of this, and that's for both guarantee issue and simplified issue.
Yeah, that the TIN is available on all of our products, where we can accept that as an alternative to a social security number. And I'm trying to pull up my guidelines so I can at least reference them and tell you some more details.
It's okay if you don't have it in front of you. I just want to kind of have an idea, because I do need a carrier that service to that community, rather because I'm in Texas and I have plenty of prospects that are in that specific situation, and where there's no social,
Okay.
but they have a TIN, they have a house, they've been here for 15 years, so they file taxes every year, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not an issue for them, the TIN part, but not a lot of carriers today do that, right?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. As far as the simplified issue, is that, you said there is a interview, like a tele interview?
So depending on the product we're talking about here, so for the final expense plan, the graded benefit, that is just straight guaranteed issue. There's no interviews, no questions.
Okay.
For our underwritten products, at smaller face amounts, like if you're only doing like 15, 20, 25,000, they're going to do an application. We'll call them to complete a phone interview. And then depending on what comes up in the phone interview, we might order medical records. And then that's it. You're not usually getting into parameds until you're like 50,000 plus.
Okay, so there is a telephone interview. Is that done on site or after you submit the application?
It's after submission.
It's after submissions. And with that, I guess, policy, is there an e-app, or that there's no e-app for that one either?
So for the guaranteed issue final expense, the non-underwritten Nomad, that is just paper. And
okay.
As of now, or you could do fillable PDF. And then if you have your own signature system, you could use that to like DocuSign it to them and then just submit the PDF to us. I pulled up the foreign national guidelines that I can reference for you quick.
Okay.
So anybody that's born in the US or naturalized citizen, we consider as group A, and we just either need, like, if we ever had to request proof, it's his birth certificate, passport, or certificate of naturalization, and that all full regular guidelines, full underwriting. And then we have legal residents of the US, and we'll take, it's not required on the app, but if we ever had to request it to confirm the legal resident status, we would accept a green card, passport, a valid DACA form, or a permanent visa. And the social, and they're part of group B. They're only restricted really in the first 2 years of living in the United States in terms of the amount that we'll write. And then the group C, this is non-registered residents, must have an ITIN and be ready to show it to us if required. And we basically have income multipliers based on their age. Like for 16 to 45, we would do up to 10 times their income. 45 to 60, we would do 7 times, but we wouldn't do preferred plus, we would only do preferred. And then group D, which is people living permanently in the US. If they've lived with us 7 years or longer, then they actually get counted as group C. And then if they're shorter than 7 years, they're part of group D, which has limited, we require them to do a paramed. They're maxed out at certain levels. So we can get into some more details if you have specific applicants later on.
Okay, I just write here and there in the Hispanic community applicants where they seeking information about life insurance for burial, but they obviously been here for more than 10 years or so, but they're not legal by any means, so they're not even a green card holder. They're a, I guess, TIN strictly.
Yep,
So
that's fine.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that information.
Yep. Any other questions?
I have a questions. So I live in California. I don't have to have an appointment. Oh, I shouldn't ask that. Well, I can get override, or I can ride in other states that I have non-resident license, right?
As long as you're licensed in the state and Catholic Financial is licensed in the state and the business is being completed by the member or applicant in that state.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you so much.
All right, any other questions?
Yes, I got a question. I understand the applicant has to affirm your mission. So what is the mission of Catholic Life Insurance?
It's serving God through serving others, providing financial security, enhancing quality of life for our members and their communities. So if they can affirm that, then they can purchase from us.
Okay. Cool.
In regards of the paper applications, we will send it by fax, or what's the best way to do it?
Fax, mail, or email.
Okay. And also you mentioned that if I have an account with DocuSign, I'll be able to upload that over there and be able to do the process electronically.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, guys, any other questions for Joe?
Yeah, I got a follow-up question to the mission question. So if someone is an atheist, so they have no chance that they can apply?
Correct. In order for us to maintain our tax exemptions and IRS status, we have to maintain the integrity of our membership. And by doing that, we have to ask that question. And if someone does not fit our criteria, then we cannot write business on them. Nothing. I mean, it's nothing against them personally. It's just we've got to protect the integrity of our fraternal status and filings.
And if someone doesn't want to answer that question, then no need even going further with them, right? So
yeah,
I guess.
So if you think about it, still like 70% 75%, depending on where you live, it's at least 75% of people are still at least faith-based or Christian in some form. And then again, depending on the state you're in, on average, somewhere between like 15 and 25% of people are Catholic. So 75% of people, so 3 out of 4 are going to understand and appreciate our mission. And then 1 of 4 is going to specifically connect with the Catholic mission. So, I mean, the majority of clients and for most people are going to be fine with the mission.
Okay. How about Muslim though. Say I run into a Muslim. Nothing. It doesn't have anything against the Christianity, but he wants to apply for insurance, and you know, how would I deal with that?
You should just move him to another carrier and quote a different carrier at that point.
I'm saying if this is the best deal for them.
Doesn't matter. You should take them to a different carrier because they don't fit our membership criteria.
That's messed up, man.
It'd just be like, I mean, there's other fraternals where you have to be a teacher to apply, or you know, USAA, you have to have a relative who's a member of the armed forces. So I mean, it's just the same thing with different qualifications.
All right.
Any other questions? I'll put my email and stuff out here in the meeting one more time. If anybody has any questions or follow-up and wants to reach out, please make sure to do so. And then Case can field any of the kind of internal processing, comp questions, things like that, and we can go from there. So just reach out to him if you have anything.
Thank you very much, Joe. That was great. Great
Thanks,
information.
Joe.
And if you guys have more information or questions for me, let me know, okay? Let me know how you can get contracted as well too. If you're interested in the product and the carrier, let me know. We'll get you set up. And it doesn't take very long. We got our contract in about a week or so. So it's a pretty quick process. So let us know and we'll be our best to help you get started and start writing business with Catholic Financial Life. All right. Once again, thank you very much, Joe. And thanks everyone for joining the webinar. And any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.